sometimes, I gotta be honest, this has happened to me many, many times in my life where someone does something that most people are like, that's a real stupid decision. Sometimes I always have what I like to call the gift of doubt, where I'm thinking, are they secretly genius? This is a weird world.
Those are some big ass books.
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear myself. Damn. Alright. I was like, yo, I'm gonna look at this back and be like, ugh.
Everybody does, but you actually listen to yourself recorded though. Like you do content. So like you hear yourself.
I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah. It's not bad. Mm-hmm. You put out the funniest stuff, man.
Thank you.
You put out the funniest stuff. Like, what do you?
Thank you.
What made you want to start putting out like relatable mom content? I mean, I guess you were probably just in it and you're like, well, fuck, I'm living this shit anyway. So
that's what it is. Every day.
Is it just making the best out of situation? Like, is it just like,
yes, because it's stressful. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a lot of sad days. So you're just like trying to laugh as much as you can. Kids are funny
1,000%
in general, so I'm just like, hold on, do that one more time and just
for sure.
sneak the phone up.
No, your daughter's like saying yellow. Oh my gosh, it's the best. It's the best. Like it's best.
Naya is a personality already. Yeah.
No, they're funny. All the videos, like. Love little, because now my algorithms know that I like baby stuff. Okay. So I get all sort. I love that content. Like I love that domain of content. It's just like showing little kids just doing the weirdest of things. Yeah. Like, look at them try to figure it out. Like I saw two little black boys like fighting, but they were like 2 years old, so they don't really know how to fight.
They're just trying to figure out, like, I'm going to attack you somehow.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to attack you. Like, I need you to know that. But, like, I really got no power behind. Yeah. Like, they just be rubbing each other's faces and stuff like that.
Nah, it's funny. Yeah. I'm peeping, like, Cairo now, he's starting to tease Naya. So I'm just, like, watching it. Like, let me see how this plays out. So he'll, like, just be sitting there. And then you'll see him, like, look at her. And then he'll like kick her and see what she does. And then she's like, no. I think it's the funniest thing, but I'm like, so y'all are starting it up. Man, because me and my brother used to be at it. We're 2 years apart.
Yeah. Oh, see, so that's still very much close enough to have to like grow up with someone. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I feel like a twin experience is very different though.
Yeah.
Like to have been in the womb together, like, they come out in the world and y'all start from the same place and you're there the whole time. I feel like that's a very different. Do you believe in like the
telepathy?
Like the feelings that they get?
I do for identical twins.
Okay.
Maybe for them because they share the womb. Because identical is like one egg and it splits. So you're literally sharing DNA. But with fraternal twins, it's two separate eggs, two separate sperms. Yeah, so they're literally two completely different people that were just cooking at the same time, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a little different.
Yeah, it's a different experience than identical.
Okay, and so what do you believe about, like, let's get it.
The identical?
Yeah, like, what do you believe about, like, what do you mean telepathy? Like, what do you think is happening?
I feel like it's real for sure. Like, I don't know necessarily like if you punch one, the other one feels it. I think that's like, but you kind of like get that feeling like, oh, something's off. Or like I could tell like I know you because I know me. And you kind of like we're almost the same person, you know? Like you kind of like,
it's just like, bro, let's stop playing.
Like I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Me and my brother can look at each other and we got the same jokes, and you know, we'll just give each other that look.
Yeah,
and then
for
just
sure.
Start busting out laughing.
It's crazy what eye contact can do. Like it's wild, like what you can read on someone's face. Like it's just like you and someone have that connection, and you can just like look real fast. That's crazy. Yeah, so I for sure, I definitely think it's sort of like that feeling that we get because we do not have eyes in the back of our head, but yet for some reason, if someone is behind you 20 yards out and they're just looking at you, you're gonna feel that shit. Like you can be like,
like somebody's who's looking
which
at
is
me.
Which is wild that we have that instinct. Like just like something's not right about the situation. So yeah, no, I could definitely believe that twins.
Yeah,
could,
even
like,
fraternal,
really,
like the twins, they do certain things. Like they would yawn at the same time, and they sleep the same way.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah. I feel like it's slight telepathy with them, but mainly if you're identical, it's strong.
Damn, that's wild.
But I'm like waiting for their little like conversations and like for them to grow. Like right now, they just kind of like, okay, that person is there, but I'm gonna do my own thing. But they're starting to play with each other more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
so I'm just like keep each other busy.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, no, I'll tell you what. Even though the videos are amazing, I definitely do think, man, she's working. Like you can see that, like behind the comedy of it, it's like, man, she's working. Like she's putting in a lot of work over there.
Yeah,
I do not know what that's like.
It's tough. It's really tough.
I saw you put up this is something we can bond on. I saw you put up like I think it was a Christmas one or a Thanksgiving one. I forgot. It was the holidays, but you were playing a song by Red Clay Strays on the song. One, I love that song. It's she keeps on loving me the way I
think we am. Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's not just.
I'm like, I don't know who the Red Clays, but yeah.
So yeah, I love that song. But I was remembering that you were saying you were just trying to remain strong and like keep your head up, and that these holidays are not the same as they once were.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. It's like once you get to a certain age, you're like, all right, Santa Claus ain't real. So that kind of kills it. And then,
what age were you? Did this not happen to
childhood,
you?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
But like you just kind of see.
You were 17. Somebody told you.
Year.
You was like, what?
No.
What the fuck you talking about, man?
No, I've known. But it's just like with like kids have that extra, if Santa Claus is gonna come if you're good, this and that, and the shows, the movies and stuff. But it's like years after that, it kind of wears off the spirit. And then, because you got a lot of shit going on the older you get, it's just like, yeah, it's Christmas, but bills are still due, and I gotta work tomorrow, and
Yeah.
So, like, when my son, he's gonna be 12 this year, and he knows Santa Claus isn't real. Like, we just had to, it was about that time to break it to him.
12.
You think that's too old?
Yo,
we told him like 2 years ago.
That's so funny.
But he's still kind of like, I'm like, well, do you think he's real? He's like, well, you told me he wasn't. But I'm like, yeah, he's not. We're the ones that are giving you the presents. But he was just like, oh, okay. He was like, all right. But I'm like, don't say anything to your nephew, though, because I think he's still, once kids find that out, they're like, yeah, Santa Claus ain't real. I'm like, no,
like,
that's...
The parent, like, they've been lying to us. Like, what else do they lie to us about? Yeah.
Like, I got to spread the word.
I mean, but that's a rite of passage. Now I was never really allowed to believe in Santa Claus. Like my dad took that from me as early as I could even conceptualize Santa Claus. He was like, no. He was like, it's me.
I bought these.
He was like, I'm not going to let you think that there is some white jolly man going around the world. giving presents away, coming down a chimney that we don't have, Earl.
Yeah.
Right? And giving you the presents that I worked very, very hard to get for you. He was like, watch. And he took my brother and I to Toys R Us. And he was like, go pick out what you want. And then we bought it. And he was like, see, I just bought these for you.
It was under the tree.
And I was like, okay.
Then you was cool with it.
I was like, yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like things like that made me question other things more. So like as I got older and people would say that they believed in something or they knew some sort of information, I'd start asking questions like, how do you know? You know what I mean? Like, who told you that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, skeptical.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely skeptical. But no, that's definitely a rite of passage. Like for little kids, I was just, Valerie and I were... we were talking about this the other day. Like when you're a child, and when I say child, I mean like teenager, and you're going through like your first love interest.
Oh God.
Your perspective on the world is so stupid.
Yeah.
You look at this person and you swear. Like the thing that you believe in most is that y'all are going to be together forever.
They're the one.
You know what I mean? Like, and you can remember, you can like think back to what that really felt like. Like you truly believe that.
Yeah.
Truly. More than anything. And then, you know, you got to go through some, and then life just comes at you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have to sit there and your parents are watching you because like, they're your parents, and they just have to like sit there and let you go through it and be like, oh God, like they're probably having conversations in the room, just like, oh God, you see how fucking excited she is? Like this is gonna go so bad. Oh my God,
I'm dreading that. I am, because it's like you want to like, especially having a son. I'm like, oh, I don't want to. Yeah. Like my son's kind of at that stage, like. Ooh. You know, he was holding a girl's hand, walking from the bus. We're all like looking through the window.
Oh yeah,
like tap tap. All right, y'all can let that shit, let it go, go play. So I'm trying to like ease back, but then you know I don't want to like embarrass him. And
for sure,
yeah.
Being a young boy, when your hormones start going, it is crazy. You truly do turn into like a little gremlin. Like it's just very different. You can't. It's
the hormones.
You can't. Some of us we can't control it. Like you're just running around. Just everything's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah, and I was also telling her that too. Is that was one of the biggest steps that I had to get over when I first decided I wanted to start transforming, like as a person, was that I was one of those little assholes, you know? And so now, like when I look at children, you clearly have this overwhelming sense of like, man, I would like nothing but great things for all of these little children, whether you see like them playing out at recess, because we go out and play pickleball and it's like right across the street from the elementary school, and you just hear kids having the best time at recess. You remember what recess was like? Like, oh, I can't fucking wait to get out. Like, and they just sound like a sea of animals. Just,
right? Wow.
But you just feel great about that.
You reminiscing right now?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was an amazing, like, that's an amazing experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had a lot of good times.
But you definitely, when that life starts coming at you and you start getting like burned by people, because you just think everything is great, like everyone's so nice.
Yeah. Until you realize.
Yeah. Like that's a terrible thing. And again, I played my role in that. So that was like something I had to like, I'm like, damn, like you were just out here tormenting people like unnecessarily.
I can't see that. Well, I can't picture that.
Well,
because I've known you way back, and you've always been like really, really nice. I mean, I know it's two sides of people, but
yeah, that's really what it was. It was just that there was this other part that was winning the battle, you know, every so often. You know? And so I had to figure out like, okay, like how do I gotta change. I gotta move away from this because like it's not good. Like,
you don't feel good.
No.
Yeah, the energy you give to people, you know.
Yeah, stems from. No, you definitely don't feel good. That's how I know, like, when I see that energy from someone, I'm just like, man, that's not fun over there. Like, that's not a fun experience.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to, I don't even want to, like, stoke that fire. Like, there's no point.
Yeah.
Like, you're already going through it, which is why you're acting out.
See, that's another thing, though. I'll be like, do I want to match that? Like, I instantly am, like, matching the energy. Like, if I get, like, an attitude from you, you're going to get an attitude. But I'm working on it. I'm like, all right, I need to be the bigger person. And, like, whatever you're going through, that's your issues. But I'm going to think about love and niceness. But shoot, this lady almost got cussed out the other day.
That's so see. You got one of these stories too. What's going on? Tell me.
No, like, okay. I was getting this sweatshirt.
Supermarket. Yeah, like,
I was like, let me buy, a little sweatshirt for the podcast. But I was in the dressing room to try it on, and you got to walk further down for the bigger dressing rooms because I had the stroller. And mind you, the twin stroller is even longer than a normal stroller. So, some doors were closed, some were open, and I went to the biggest one. And it was closed, and then I kind of knocked on it. I didn't hear anything, so I slowly opened it up. And she's like, somebody's in here. I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. She was like, the door was closed. I'm like, well. It was at that moment where you go high or you go low. So I was like, well, you didn't say nothing when I knocked on the door. And she was like, well, you ain't knock. I was like, I did knock. I was just like, all right, that was enough. That's all you're getting from me. I was just like, all right, ma'am.
Y'all had a whole dialogue.
Yes. So I was like, nah, let me I got the kids with me.
We over here at the dressing rooms, like, maybe.
I'm about to fight. Because you ain't hear my knock. But okay. Yeah, because I did. I was like, how you going to tell me I ain't knock when I knocked? But, I'm like, she's having a bad day.
Oh, man, that is too funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
People try you. I'm like, why are people so just...
People are just unstable. Like, you just don't know what day, what week, what month they've had, and they just could be teetering on the edge.
Yeah. That's why I just kind of like just try my best to leave them alone.
Yeah, and they're out there. Someone just came on the pod and was talking about a church that their friend, their roommate, had taken them out to. Now, she was already kind of getting weird vibes from this roommate, but she went to this church, and she said, and I should have asked, like, I'm gonna ask her, like, in what way were they doing this? But she said that one thing is they were doing was they were worshiping Trump.
Okay.
Which is just a hilarious thing to do.
Yeah, like, okay.
And but then another thing they were doing was they were calling for the deaths of all people in the LGBTQ community.
Her roommate or the church?
The church. And then I was like,
oh my God.
And I was like, how many people were there? And she was like, at minimum, 400. She was like, maximum maybe 1,000 people were in
scary.
there. And I was like, wow. So I just say that to say you just never know, like, who the person is behind you at the supermarket, or like who
your roommate really is.
Like who you're interacting with.
Yeah.
So you just gotta
mind your business.
Unless you're willing to take it to the death, pretty much. Unless you're willing to take it there, you should probably just, because there's some people, like my friend's story, where they're ready.
That guy was ready.
That dude was ready. That shit was so funny, man. Like, people being, like, exaggeration is really fun to me. So people being like that angry for someone for no reason, like, like, it clearly has nothing to do with my friend driving into a neighborhood. He's just angry.
Yeah, taking it out on whoever.
You better use a turn signal in my neighborhood. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, okay, fuck you.
You like, but like they can press it on. Like, I'm talking to you because I say what I want to say. Because I say,
it just like drugs.
You better keep it moving. It's like, damn, man. Like, just a guy on the side of the road. You know?
No, I watch way too much ID channel for that.
Oh,
yeah. I try not to. It's my dad. Like all day news, ID channel.
Yeah, I feel like that gives you a certain perspective.
Off. Yeah, because I mean, I'm trying to clear my mind and be more like positive. And then I go downstairs and it's just
murder.
Murder, death, the news. I'm like, that's not a good way to start your day. Like I try to avoid.
Oh yeah, especially. That's first thing in the morning. Oh nah,
that's all night. First thing in the morning. Because right now I'm living with my dad. So you know that's a whole nother. Yeah.
People are out there. You know, I read this story the other day that these two people. I feel like it was like a Bonnie and Clyde sort of situation, or at least I like to think of it that way, just for the sake of story. That it was like a couple that broke into a 7-Eleven out there in Manassas. I think a particular one that I know of, and they just stole lottery tickets. Like they just held the place up, armed robbery, and took all the lottery tickets.
Wow.
And sometimes I got to be honest, this has happened to me many times in my life, where someone does something that most people are like, that's a real stupid decision. Sometimes I always have what I like to call the gift of doubt, where I'm thinking, are they secretly genius? Like, do they know something that like I don't know? Because I'm trying to think of the logistics of taking the gamble alone to walk into an establishment with a gun, pointed at someone, right? Because now at this point, like, you're going to prison, right? Like, you've already done enough to go to prison. And you decided you were going to take that opportunity to take all the lottery tickets. Like, you didn't go somewhere where you felt like there could have been more money and you could have gotten more money. You decided to take the gamble to gamble.
Yes.
Hoping that the lottery tickets would, you know. And so I'm like, okay. And I'm really thinking, like, does every store that hosts lottery tickets, do they have like some big winning ticket in there? Like if you scratch every single, if you go through every single ticket at a store, like, are you going to make money? Like, is that just
that? Probably not.
You know, like, I'm sitting there trying to think of all this. I'm just like, they know something I don't know.
Yeah, no,
because that's a wild thing to do.
Just the lottery ticket.
Just the lottery tickets.
No money, no snacks.
Sometimes I be thinking,
I would have took some candy or something. Shit, might as well.
I'm like, damn, man. So yeah, you just don't know. People are just making wild decisions. People are just out there making very wild decisions.
Yeah, you gotta watch your back.
So you were talking about the little boy. So is it difficult, like, trying to mold a upstanding citizen as a boy? Do you feel like that's going to be in particular a job that you have to work like with him about? You know what I mean? Like, making sure that he's not turning out to be
a dog.
Yeah, just a nigga out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Because the reason I say this, by the way, is because for some reason, just like how you knew that person was going to be the love of your life, for some of us young black men, we feel like the streets is so cool. It sounds so cool. It's like just being out there, out in the field. Yeah. Being outside, like just running around. It seems so cool. So that's the reason why. Like, you believe you are a thug. Like, you, like,
watching all them damn videos.
You can't tell a young
like,
nigga,
that's me.
That is me. I'm a thug. Yeah. You don't understand, Mom.
I feel like it's a phase, and I'm hoping that it's like a short phase, but I don't see it in him. Like, I feel like
that's nice.
You could kind of tell by his age, because he's about to be 12. The older one.
Right. That's right. Because what grade is that?
5th grade. Well, he's a late birthday, so but yeah, he's in 5th grade.
Okay, I would say wait till next year.
It's the middle school.
Yes,
that's what I'm like telling his dad. We gotta teach him how to fight. He's about to get into some type of martial arts.
Man. Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I always tell him like all the time, you know, treat people how you want to be treated. Which works sometimes. I mean, I'm saying it a lot, so.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard because once they get to middle school, that's when it's okay. Like you want to act tough, and the hormones is acting crazy, and then you got your classmates,
and other people start trying you. You just go to a bigger place. It's just much more populated, so you're getting so many more personalities and challenges thrown at you.
Yeah, middle school is because I drove for school bus. I was a school bus driver, so I know.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah, people told me before I started, they was like middle schoolers are the worst, and they're definitely, I would say, the hardest.
Wow.
Yeah, so I already know it's like at that age, you really got to drill it into them, like, you know, treat women this way, and just people in general, treat them nice, and don't let people. I ask him every day. I'm like, well, how are the kids? Were the kids nice? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, were the teachers nice? Yeah. I'm like, well, would you tell me if they weren't?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. It's like so hard to get information out of him now. He's just like, it's been like 7 hours. I don't want to talk about school, nothing. But I mean, I feel like with him, I'm not going to have to worry about too much.
Yeah.
But Cairo, I don't know.
He's giving off a different energy?
He's a little rough, but I mean, he has a sister with him. So I feel like that's going to help.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's not going to want to see his sister treated a certain way. So hopefully he takes that and is like,
yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Some perspective there. Yeah, it seems like it's a lot. What are you doing? I see that you have some. I want to ask like what you're doing outside of that to sort of bring yourself this peace that you're talking about trying to do. Is that a New Year's resolution, or is that just something?
No.
Okay.
I hate New Year's resolution.
Okay,
that should last like a week. I'm like, I went to bed at 11 o'clock New Year's Eve. I was like, I'm over the New Year thing, but I would say for a couple months, I took off like TikTok and all my social media apps, except for Snapchat. And then I just was off for like a good month and a half. And I downloaded like a Bible app because I want to get closer to God. So I've been doing that on and off, trying to meditate. It's hard. That's a hard one.
All right. I haven't had a serious meditation talk with someone in a while. Okay. So where did you pick this up? What app do you use? What does this look like for you? Meditation.
So I picked it up. I read a book, The 7 Spiritual Laws, something like that.
Okay.
And they're like, first step is silence. You got to clear your mind, meditate. That's when you get all your creative thoughts. And then part of that is also getting outside too. And then they were like, don't judge people was like the first step. Like, I shall not judge today. And I've been doing pretty good at that. Like, if I feel like my mind is judging, I'm like, I'm not going to judge. But like I tell myself, no, don't do that.
No, I'm not going to judge.
Yeah, I'm not going to judge. But meditating, with that, you have to dedicate the time. Like, usually my kids wake me up, the twins. So when they're up, it's like, you lost that time to meditate. And sometimes, like, I'll wake up before them, sneak out the bed, put on like a YouTube. I'll just like do quick meditations or 5-minute, 10-minute meditations. But it's just like they know when I wake up. And I'll be like 2 minutes in and they pop up. I'm like, fuck. I could wake up earlier.
That's so funny. Yeah,
but sometimes I could get it in.
I wonder if they have some sort of connection with you as well.
Oh, yeah. I definitely believe that because they know.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, when I'm doing something or if I'm like not laying with them because they co-sleep. with me, which sucks. But, you know, it's like once I get out the bed and they realize, like, where's mommy? They pop right up.
Jeez.
So that's like a whole nother thing.
Wow.
We got to work on, but
they just feel that absence.
Yeah, definitely my son. Cairo's a wild sleeper. So, like, if he don't feel me around or, you know, he pops up, looks around, lays back down and don't see me, it's, all right, I'm up. Where you at? What you doing? And now Naya, she'll call our names. So she's like, mommy, daddy, daddy. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the goal is to wake up at like 7. Do what I got to do, stretch, meditate, and then get them up.
So your problem with meditation is just simply finding enough time alone.
Yeah.
It's not the actual practice itself.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of hard too. Like doing guided meditations is easier because they're like, close your eyes, imagine this. But I would say the past 2-3 times, I'm like, well, let me try to do just like a silent meditation, set a timer just to see, you know, when I stop. And I've been getting like it was like 9 minutes, and then one time was 10 minutes and stuff. But it's like it's hard not to think. And how have you felt like afterwards? Do you feel like there's been any qualitative difference in your life since you started? After like 5 minutes, like I'll meditate, stretch. I'm like, I feel good. And then once like all the task of the day hits you, you're like back to like, you know, being drained. But I've noticed throughout the day, I'm kind of like, well, what was the, you know, meditative like quote or thought you had or whatnot. And what I do is like, I have this app called the Journal app. So I'll meditate and then like I'll write like how I feel or felt about it, what I plan to do with the day or what happened the previous day. And then I'll kind of like check on it here and there throughout the day. So like for example, say if I meditated and I'm thinking, all right, love, love, love. I'm thinking the energy of love. And then like if I'm feeling stressed out, I'm like, all right, breathe in, breathe out, love, calm down, and then go on, you know. So it helps. Yeah. So it just takes a lot of practice. They say that a good meditator is one that meditates, right? Like everyone's at their different levels, but if you're doing it, you're doing it. And, you know, it is something like everything else that takes practice. Like it is a practice, and you just gotta like just keep doing it, and then it gets better and better and easier and easier. And something that they also say is that one conscious breath is a meditation. So maybe you can't get that initial 5 to 10 minutes that you want when you wake up, but if you decide, like, okay, I'm going to make a real conscious decision to like pick this water bottle up. And as I bring it to like give myself a breath and really feel the water, like, and then breathe out as I put the water bottle down. Like that was a meditation. So you gave yourself that 2 to 3 seconds that it took to do that. And you just do those throughout the day. Then you get that time and more. Oh, that's smart. You just learn to make like your life meditations instead of that one portion of the day and then going back to regular. Yeah. I like that. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because then you feel bad, like, dang, I only did 2 minutes, or you know, or I didn't get to do it. So yeah, taking that time throughout the day, even if it's like 2 seconds. I think you know, I was also having a conversation with those 2 friends yesterday about. Well, I guess just about like doing things constantly, like just staying consistent with things. Meditation. So, I mean, I know a lot of people feel like they can't do it, or it's like it's not for them. Their mind works differently. Their mind works too fast. They're constantly thinking about things. You kind of pulling back from Instagram and all those sort of things, TikTok. There is something in silence, right? So, as you said, that
one of the spiritual laws or whatever was silence. When you like start quieting things around you, like I was thinking about this the other day. Like, you know how much of a joy it probably was for people in elden days to hear music. Like when you had to go to a place where people were playing live music with instruments. Like it was something you cherished and you felt very like pleased to hear, because if you weren't there, then you weren't listening to music. You didn't have the technology to just play music all the time. Right. So there's like constantly things in this day and age that were stimulated by that like people didn't really have before. You cherished it more when you got around to it. But if you can, that's why there's silent retreats, like where people just go and you just be silent for a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. Cause it calms the mind. Right. And then you just have like these little moments where, you know, you decided, you know what, instead of just giving this 5 or 10 minutes to scrolling on this thing, like, let me just try to be as silent as I can be in those things. So these are just itty bitty pieces that you know, go along with and you pick up, and your meditation gets stronger and stronger and stronger because you find so many different ways to sort of do that thing. But my mom was telling me about how she'll go in a yoga class and she knows when she's doing flow that she's like in the best state of mind that she can be in. She's like, there's a sense of peace that I feel that I know that I'm supposed to bring that into my regular life. She was like, but it's the bringing it into my regular life that is just so like, I don't feel that same way. And I'm just like, but you're having the conversations with yourself though. You've identified that there is a feeling that you do feel that, one, it's achievable because you have felt it in this space over here. Yeah. And that you want that over here in your life. So you've already identified what it is you're trying to do. So there you go. Yeah. Like you're already having the right conversations with yourself. Like now it's just a matter of you figuring out how you're going to do that. But you're so what I mean to say is you're having the right conversations. Like you're doing the right things. You're trying, you're conscious of it. Yeah. So yeah, you're on that path. Which is great. I love to hear when people like are trying to do that. You know, I used to try to like really convince people that it's something that they should be doing, and then I'd stop doing that for just obvious reasons. Yeah. But
it's hard to get others on the same page. You got to just like focus on you.
For sure.
Yeah. So you meditate, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you have like time slots, or you do it just like throughout the day, whenever?
No. So, there are definitely times where I will just sit with myself. Like early in the morning, as soon as I wake up, 10 to 20 minutes. And then before I go to bed, like roughly the same, usually. And then what I try to do is exactly what it is I sort of expressed is I mostly try to live inside of a meditation, you know, and just make sure that, I mean, it's not even really making sure at this point. I feel pretty...
It's fluent.
Yeah, it's just pretty fluid now. You know what I mean? I'm just paying attention to things that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which, by the way, I will say, because this seems like some crazy magic trick or something, but it feels as though I've sort of hacked into time in a certain way as well. I realize that a lot of people are often in constant struggle with time, with a lot of things. Like a lot of things are very time based. And people are like, oh, like it's only 5 o'clock. Like, oh, I really thought that it would have been like, I would have looked up at the clock, and I looked at the clock like 30 minutes ago and I could have swore it was this time. Like I thought like 2 hours had gone by. It's only this. Like people just constantly in a struggle with time. And just the looking at the clock, like, we know this, just constant looking at the ticking of a clock, you know that it goes by slower. And this was something that I learned in my days of taking a lot of Adderall was I would focus on things, and I realized how much I loved focusing on things. Like, because at that point, everything is fun. Like, whatever it is you're doing, you're very meticulously doing the thing. You're very focused on the thing and nothing else. And so time goes by like very, very, very fast. And so I realized that like this feeling of being very focused, like this is achievable without this Adderall. Like I know it's achievable. So then that's where a lot of the meditation and mindfulness came in. And when you be really present and just focusing on what it is you're doing at the moment, time just starts flying by because you're just focused on whatever it is going on. Like you're not like in a constant battle with time, like hoping that time progresses really fast or that it slows down. Like you're not
fixating on it.
Yeah, like you're not Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like you're not even fixated on.
I'm working on that too.
Yeah.
For sure, especially when you have kids, because I'm like the time just flies. You know, you just want to be present in the moment of what it is, enjoy it. Because you're just like, you know, you got like so much to do. Like, all right, I got to do this, and that. But just like you said, honing into the moment and not focusing on like, well, this happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I try not to stress about that. The past, the future, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of like hard not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I definitely get it. You know, I don't think that it's for everyone. Let me preface that. Preface what I'm going to say. But I will say that there is, it seems to be some sort of restorative just factor of doing psilocybin in particular, magic mushrooms. Like there's just something about the experience of it that brings you closer to the present moment. And by the way, that's for some people, because then I also had someone on the podcast that told me they did mushrooms and it made them start plotting about how they were going to go to Hollywood and try to like extort really rich guys. Like that's the plan. Like and then she was like, "Oh shit!" Like I'm tripping. Like
that was in your mind somewhere. It just snuck up. Like I feel like that got to be like that was in there. Talking about the shrooms, not that's you. What the hell? Yeah, I'm scared to do stuff like that. Like my mind usually goes to like the darker side of everything. So I'm like even with weed, like sometimes it'll be a good experience. And then a lot of times I'll be like, I had it like too many times and now I'm paranoid and I'm tripping. And I'm like focusing on breathing right now. So I try to just do like a little bit of weed.
Dude, that's hilarious, man. Yeah, no, that's not.
I would try
that's not a
mushrooms, but it would have to be like, what do they call that? Microdosing? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I don't even do edibles.
That would be, like that. That would definitely be the suggested I think, amount, like a recommended amount.
Yeah.
It was like just to feel it out. But there's really something about that state that I feel like puts you in flow with things. I'm gonna get into this just a little bit. There's this really, really cool book given to me by a friend named Mark, and it's called The Watercourse Way by Alan Watts. But Alan Watts was sort of a philosopher and many other things. But it's about Taoism. Now, I had been talking about things and explaining things in a Taoist way for a long time without knowing that I really was, until this guy got me this book. And then I'm reading it and I'm like, oh yeah, this resonates with me. And a lot of it, and it's also kind of funny because the more you kind of explain it, the further you kind of get away from the kind of essence of it. Because it's really
like hard to explain.
Yeah, because it's really just that life is in a flow. Like it's happening with or without your consent, right? And that it would behoove us to understand that we are just one little speck within that flow. And that if you kind of truly awaken to that idea, a lot of your stresses, like just in your body and in your being, would release. Because you would stop stressing so much about like trying to control life around you. And you would just be going a lot more with the flow of things and sort of engaging with things when you need to, but also not when you don't need to. It's one of the sort of analogies for it is a lot of it is, and they use water to talk about it, like the grace of water and how water runs over things and it corrodes hard things like rock. Meaning, you know, if you're acting in a water-like way, a very graceful, go with the flow, just enjoying the ride of life way, even people around you that are hardened will slowly like soften to you. You know, because that's what water does to rock. But essentially, what I say about shrooms is that it kind of puts your body and mind in this, in that realization. And you kind of feel the words that I just said. Because right now I say those words and we try to take them in intellectually. But you get to feel that and you're like, oh, okay, I do feel like I need to kind of relax. But another, what I was saying, an analogy for it is a willow branch, I believe they called it. So like a willow versus a pine. So a pine tree, very, very strong, very sturdy. So when snow falls on it and packs on it enough, like branch may break off. But a willow tree takes the path of least resistance in a sense. So like once it's limber enough and spry enough to when enough snow falls on it, it lets the snow fall. And then it pops and then it springs back up.
Okay.
So it's like, it's not to say that you don't react to things in life, but you react to them with grace so that you don't end up broken. Yeah. You know, so.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a very, very, very cool thing. So I mean, pretty much that's what I think about the shroom experience, or at least that's what I felt on it. And that's kind of one of those reassurances of living in that way. And it really, really has, to me, seemed as though it relieves so much, and you can be so much more just engaged with what's going on without that judgment that you're speaking on. Because like, you just see things as they are, and you sort of realize like everything is where it's at for reasons that are far beyond your understanding, but that's just the way they are. Like people are the way that they are at that moment. You may have been versions of that person that you don't like right now. They're like, oh, I kind of remember back when I was doing the same shit that this person's doing. Like, I guess they're just on their path, but life and people will like sort of open up, you know, with that form of, or that mode of navigating.
And what did you say? You said it starts with a T?
Taoism.
Taoism?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, that's kind of my whole synopsis on tapping into time and, you know, just kind of getting in the flow of life.
Yeah. So is that like when you do the shrooms, it just kind of like brings you back into that feel, and then once it wears off, that's kind of how you feel for a while, or once?
Yeah, people do say there's a little afterglow. Okay. But I would I feel like when you feel something enough, you gain like an aptitude to familiarize yourself with it. And to kind of understand maybe where that sense of ease is coming from. The more you get to, it's like if you were to keep taking a actual trip to like a certain place, like you went to Italy every year. Every year you would learn a little bit more about Italy and like how Italy feels and what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the culture is, like you'd understand it. So if you just went to Italy to live there for a year, then you'd know a lot about Italy in a year. So I'm kind of thinking, there was a thought I had of, well, what if I just remain in this state for a while? Like what will I understand about this state of being that I'll be able to understand when I'm not in that state?
Okay.
Right. Which will still put me in some degree in that state. Right. So that's what I decided to do. There was just like a strict, I mean, it wasn't strict, but I did like 35 days of just microdosing. Just to kind of.
So overall, the experience went well for you?
Oh, yeah. 1,000%.
1,000%. Okay.
For sure. Okay. Oh, yeah, for sure. But but again, I prefaced all this with that doesn't mean that everybody should do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
People got a lot of stuff they're trying to figure out in life, man.
Yeah.
You know, we ask ourselves a lot of questions.
Yeah, the negative energy and stresses could get in the way of just living. Yeah, being happy.
You're about to fight this woman at the dressing office or the dressing room. You know what I mean?
That would have definitely changed the day.
It would have changed the tone a little bit.
Like, oh, I'm getting locked up. I'm like, Earl, I missed the podcast because of a dressing room.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, so what about so are you taking these laws and like are you trying to get outside? Like what's the outside bit?
Yeah. Just like taking the twins on walks.
Okay.
Or sometimes like if I meditate, stretch and stuff, I'll walk outside, just breathe in the fresh air, look around, listen, take it in, and then go back inside to the cave.
Yeah, because you can't go anywhere too crazy.
But I like being outside.
You can go to Great Falls. Great Falls in Maryland. We also have our side over here in Virginia, but it's just your side of the Potomac River. And you could take them and take a stroller out there and walk around. It's just a beautiful, oh my. You got to go to Great Falls. You got to just remember those words, Great Falls.
Why does that sound like so far away?
They're waterfalls.
Okay.
It's beautiful. Like if you've never seen large waterfalls, you got to go.
And there's like a trail you could walk.
Many.
See everything.
Many. Okay, it shouldn't be too far from you.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely check that out. It's beautiful. You should just download Trails, the Trails app. It
shows you like where all the trails is in your area.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like every trail, all around.
See, that sounds like a good idea. But then I'm like, what type of animals are gonna just like? Like that sounds nice and all, but are there bears over there?
No.
Like mountain lions?
No, definitely no mountain lions. We don't really get those.
Okay.
Now, a great thing that Trails has is one, it has comments from mad people that go there because people subscribe to this app. So people will let you know their experience. There's a 5-star rating on Trails. Like they tell you what it's good for, like baby strollers. If you want to take a dog out there, like they let you know everything about every trail possible. Right. So you would be able to know what you needed to know. Before
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, they let you know if they saw a bear. They let you know if like there's like just
there was a bear.
Sometimes you'll see like, oh, I saw a baby bear, but like people say that shit like it's cute. You know what I'm saying? Like
I saw a
little baby bear. You know, but they're also little black bears. They're not like, it's not like you're gonna come across a grizzly like charging at you. That's not gonna happen.
I'm just like in my mind, you never know.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you never know.
Yeah. Aside from that, by the way, Great Falls is very touristy. It's very like so
there's a lot of commotion and people.
Yeah. So it's like a national park. So you're really not gonna see anything out there. People having picnics and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, you won't have to worry about this. I was going to say don't get close to the water because they let you also know how many people die there a year because they get a little too close to the water. And they let their guard down because it's low tide and then they get swept up. And now they're just in the Potomac River somewhere.
Sheesh. Yeah, I don't do water like that.
But definitely check those places out.
Okay.
I saw some, I didn't click on it, but I saw some series or a documentary about grounding, like putting your feet in the ground, because I know that there are a bunch of studies about doing this.
Yeah.
I'm certainly all for it.
Yeah.
I don't know at all any of the science behind it. But I will say putting your feet in the grass is very nice. It's a very nice feeling.
I thought about it, then I'm like, then you gotta wipe your feet off.
Everything you think about it, and you just like,
it's always that like voice in the back of my head, like, do you really want to get your feet dirty? You gotta do all this stuff. Because I don't know. But that sounds like a good thing to do.
You don't have to go to like a super muddy place.
Yeah, just walk outside out front.
Just where some lush grasses. Like your feet are dirty now, but they're not like dirty. Like you know what I mean. Yeah, just quick wipe off. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Do that when it's nice and sunny out. Get some vitamin D.
Yeah. It's got to be sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, not no cold or wet grass or nothing like that.
What are the other laws?
Because the second one,
getting outside, the
meditating, silence.
The no judging.
Yeah, no judging.
Okay,
you want to clear your mind from that. And then the next step. So what I did was I read the whole book, and then I'm like, all right, well, let me go back to step 1, try to get this down pat, and then go to step 2. So they say step 2. It's kind of like what you were just talking about with the, the flow of everything. They're pretty much like, if you give, you will receive. So they're like, you don't have to just give like money wise. Like when you see someone, they're like, wish hope, laughter and happiness for them, even if you don't know them. I haven't been doing too good with that. Sometimes that's so like funny. After I get this meditating thing down, but how you're walking around, people got their face scrunched up, and then you're just kind of like turned off by it a little bit. They're just like whoever you meet, just have good thoughts and prayers for them, and then keep it pushing. So I guess that just puts you constantly in a good energy. And then, like I said, you give, you receive that way. So it's karma.
Yeah, man, it definitely makes life far more pleasant. Yeah, to just ultimately understand that people, like, if you were them, you would be them too. Like they just went through whatever story they went through, and that's just that. Like, but
giving people grace.
Yeah, but you just got to give them grace. I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, it's just but not letting outside energy affect your energy and stuff. So
as best you can. As best you can. Some people are they're just in a miserable spot, and they try to pass their misery on to other people. And you just but that's kind of the water. That's what I'm saying. Is like you just gotta kind of just flow around them.
Yep.
You just flow around them. Like whatever it is they got going on, you just understand it and just
keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Yeah. So that's the second one. The third, shoot, I don't even remember. Yeah, I don't remember the other one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're still. Yeah, I was about to say we're still working. Yeah, we're still working.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I think we often sever ourselves from the children we were, like emotionally speaking. But people often are a lot of the children that they once were. They just got older. And there were a bunch of lessons that they didn't or did pick up along the way. And,
Yeah.
So the no judging part, I feel like can be the hardest for a lot of people.
Especially like, these days, because you're like,
yeah. Someone was
really?
Was trying to tell me that I disliked someone the other day. They were like, I know that you dislike this person, and I was like, why would you say that? And they're like, one, like when you're around them, you don't be looking like you're having fun. Two, you don't, like, you do not agree with the way in which they're living life right now. And I'm like, so to me, to say that I don't agree is simply that, right? But I feel like people are much larger than, and I can also understand how you would believe that people are what they do. Like if you're doing something, like you're that type of person, like that's who you are. I think people are very, very complex.
Yeah.
Very, very complex in that they're much more than just what it is they're doing at the moment. So I don't really say that I don't like people themselves, because I just feel like there's so much more going on in that there is like a core to someone.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you got through all the fog and trash and muck and shit that's on the outside presenting itself, there would just be like a really decent, calm, chill version of that person in there.
Yeah.
You know, that's really what it seems like when you talk to people. It doesn't seem like it's the core. It just seems like there's a lot of distress and it manifests this way. And you're just like, people really aren't like terrible. They're just like confused or very frightened, you know, very insecure.
Yeah, that too.
Like that's really what's going on. So you just have more of those sorts of conversations. And I feel like that's, you start to exercise that muscle of no judgment, you know, and you're just like, yeah, maybe I should just relax. Like,
yeah, sometimes you got to remind yourself.
Yeah.
That wasn't very nice to think. Let me.
Yeah, it's wild out there.
Yeah.
I don't want any problems with anyone. It's just, I'm trying to enjoy this.
Yeah.
You know?
So did you have any New Year's resolutions that you're still keeping up with?
No, I know. I didn't do the New Year's resolutions thing. Someone asked me, they were like, do you believe in New Year's resolutions? And I'm like, that's an interesting way of framing that question. I'm like, do I believe in them? I believe that people do them. What are you asking? They're like, yeah, but do you believe like in it, that like the power of them?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think that some people, I'm certain there's some, even if it's a very small percentage of people that follow through with what they said they were going to do. I was like, so for those people, that's great.
Yeah.
For all the people that it fell through, you were at least trying to have the right conversation with yourself. Like you were trying to do so. You were trying to be conscious of something and make it happen. Maybe you made it a month. Maybe you made it 3. Maybe you made it, you know what I mean? Whatever. Maybe next year you do better. Maybe you make it more months. You know what I mean? Maybe it will become a lifestyle for you. So, you know, I just think overall it's probably a good thing. Like it's definitely not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, well, unless you say that now people aren't going to make changes until it gets back around to that time. And it's just like, I'll save it for a New Year's resolution. Like, but for now, fuck it. Like, unless you look at it that way. But yeah, no, I don't do those.
That's that.
Yeah, it's just trying to. You need to make a decision. You just do it.
Yeah, daily positive decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else are we doing to
become a better person?
Well, to bear the load that you're bearing, because you have the twins, but you also have the 12-year-old. So I mean that's a lot.
Yeah. I would say smoking.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll instantly.
Oh yeah, that's a little
help.
You know, yeah.
Just
I'm back in a way better mood.
Help you laugh at a situation that was just pissing you off.
I was like, fuck it. But that's been my mode for a minute. My God, it's like,
I mean, hey.
Yeah.
So you know yourself. Like, man, let me go on ahead and get over here and smoke this.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'm gonna handle this in a much different way. Yeah.
But I would say some things I could work on. Like I eat, like the past 2 months, I've been like eating a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
So like by me being tired throughout the day, I'm like, well, let me eat some sugar, get that boost. So that's a bad habit. I'm trying to like trying to stay away from
it's tough.
It is.
I went
Sugar
through like a box of like donut hole churros yesterday.
That sounds
I
so good.
It was one of the samples at Costco. And I was like, oh, where's the box? I was like, where's the box at? I got the whole box. The whole box is gone.
Damn. It's like once you start, it's just so like crazy. Next thing you know, That was
so terrible, man. But so Costco samples.
They get you every time.
They be hidden. But no, I also have a sweet tooth. I know what you mean. I've had some nasty days. I'm just, I can't believe I ate that.
And then the next day you're like, I'm gonna do better. So it's been like that. Like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna do better. And then it's like, I'm tired. Let me I'm frustrated.
What's your sweet?
What's my go-to? Shoot, sour candies. Like me and Rome, my oldest son, we just crushed like a bag.
Like sour
patch? Well, we like Sour Patch too. It's the worms. The twirlies or something like that.
Yeah, Trollies.
Yeah. Those are good.
Yeah, for sure.
Sour Patch, like
especially the berry ones, especially the blue red, the blue reds, or the very berry, the purple, whatever, the other pink,
Those are good. The fruit punch ones are really good too.
Oh yeah. I like the fruit punch ones.
Those are good.
Just not a huge fan of the orange green ones.
Yeah,
like like
those are always like the last one. No, I'm telling you, because last night my son already knows. I was like, give me one of the, candies. He's like, all right. So he dug in the bag and made sure he gave me one of the orange and green ones. I said, no. I'll be taking that blue and yellow one that's in there. So he knows. He ain't slick. I'm like, No, I don't want the orange and green ones.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's just like the orange and the Starburst pack. I swear that those are always.
Oh, I like the orange and the Starburst pack.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Is it like a favorite?
It's between pink, yellow.
I guess I'm just not usually an orange flavored fan for candy. Like just like Runts. Like I'm going to the orange last with Runts as well.
Yeah. Yeah, mine is more so like the green, like the lime flavored stuff.
Apple or lime.
Yeah, I don't.
I do love
those.
candy.
Would be the Sour Patch ones. That's the last ones in the bag.
Do you do chocolates?
Yeah. What's it called? It's called Lindor or something like that. The balls, the truffles.
Yeah.
They got like the strawberries and cream ones out now.
I don't do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are good.
I don't do those. I do love the Ferrero Rochers. Those
are pretty good.
Yeah, I like
hazelnuts.
Those. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like the Reese's Nutrageous bars.
Reese's Nuts.
I really like that anything made nasty. By Reese's.
I don't like Reese's like that.
No?
No.
Well,
and you had the ones with the nuts in it?
Yeah.
That might be good.
It's only because it's a pastime to me. I used to eat Nutrageous bars. I guess maybe Reese's bought them out or something. I don't know, but they were just Nutrageous bars and nougat and caramel, chocolate, and all that sort of stuff. My brother used to take me, my eldest brother, used to take me to a community center where they play chess. That's where I learned how to play chess, and I would watch him play chess. And for some reason, I would always get like a Nutrageous bar. Like I think they just had them like kind of laid out there.
Oh, okay.
So I would just eat this candy and watch him play chess and like.
So it kind of brings you back.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a relic. That thing.
Yeah, I'm not really a big like nutty bars and stuff like that. I could pass, but what else do I like? Shoot,
you like
coffee.
Donut? You like donuts?
I put sugar in my coffee. Donuts, ice cream.
Have you had a duck donut yet?
Yes, in Fredericksburg. They're pretty good.
Hold on a second. Whoa, what are you doing? What do you mean pretty good? Hold on. What is your critique about it?
It was kind of
maybe they was
a little dry.
Oh, I think they was doing something different at that one.
Maybe
because they should melt away.
Yeah, they wasn't melting.
Oh nah. If you don't take a bite of it and it's like
it
not
disintegrates.
Yeah, then that's not they was doing something else.
Yeah, maybe they wasn't that fresh.
Because were they made in front of you?
No, they just kind of like boxed it out.
Oh, nah.
They did me dirty.
Nah.
It was like, oh, we got some donuts.
That's not what I'm talking about. Wait, do you think I'm singing Dunkin'?
No, Duck.
Okay, Duck.
Yeah, it was Duck Donuts. Okay, Dunkin' Donuts.
The only one I've been to, they're whipping them up right in front of you. Like, it is a fresh donut that was just made.
Really?
And yeah, because couldn't you customize it?
No. I just was like, I'll take those.
Oh, maybe that's I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting because they come out. One time I was watching Narcos at the house, and I knew I was gonna have like a good hour-long episode ahead of me, and a nap was gonna come after that. I was like, what's the best thing that I could have while I watch this high, and then I'm about to take a 2-hour nap afterwards. 6 Duck Donuts.
6.
I got 3 maple bacon donuts. And then 3 of this one that I customized myself, which is just very lightly glazed, just enough to put cinnamon sugar on the donut with coconut shavings and rainbow sprinkles.
Oh, wow.
Took 3 of those, went back to the house. Disgusting. Disgusting. And went straight.
But I bet you had a good ass nap.
What?
Though. Damn.
Just a slaw.
Doesn't that just sound like a good time?
Just a slaw. Oh, for sure.
It really does.
Yeah, just shut your mind down.
Yes.
And just watch these drug dealers run around and kill each other and then go to sleep.
I heard Narcos was good.
Oh, yeah.
I heard about it.
For sure. I mean, there are two different kinds. There's the Pablo Escobar story in Colombia. Where's the fucking place? In Medellin. Where he was running shit, and his just ruthless story, his ruthless reign, it was crazy. And then it goes to Mexico after that, and then you get like a Mexican, narco story.
So it's different people.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I mean? And they may have some dealings with each other because they're the 2 biggest sort of drug lords. You know what I mean? So you may see some intertwining at some small parts of the story. But but those stories are just wild anyway because they're real.
Yeah.
Like these motherfuckers are really out here running small countries, you know what I mean? Like legitimately and just pushing so much drugs and just living these wild, Pablo Escobar, he went to prison, and when he went, the only way that he would actually turn himself in was they had to compromise and allow him to build his own prison. So he built his own prison and had his friends in there. There was women in there. Like they was living
that's nuts.
Like kings, but just in a prison that he built off somewhere. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like you... But it's like I'm not out there, but clearly the business is still going.
Yeah.
I'm just over here. I'm just over here while some other people on the outside are running the business for me.
Yeah.
So it was very, very weird. But some of these motherfuckers out here got like wild power selling drugs and having pretty much an army behind them.
Yeah.
It's just wild. It's a wild situation. A lot of different ways to do life.
I don't think I could do that. That's too much like stress and just evilness.
But that's why I can't get into these moments with like my friend or like you at the dressing room, because I never want to feel like I have to look over my shoulders. And I feel like the more of those situations you have, there's just higher chance of you being out somewhere and someone that you had some weird interaction with at the line at Macy's, you know what I mean, 3 months ago, now sees you at a Papa John's and they're like, oh, that's that fucking
and you don't even remember what they look like.
Exactly.
They remember you.
Exactly. I don't, man, nah. I can't.
Nah, I feel you. I be out with my kids. I just want to get in and out.
Yeah. What else do you do? Do you play any video games?
No, I don't. I want to get into reading again. I mean, I read the book I was talking about. I tried to read, damn, what's her name? I can't even think of it. An activist, Angela, dang, I feel bad I can't remember it. But I was trying to read that. It was getting good, but you know, I get distracted and whatnot. I like nonfiction books too. I want to get into I had a slight thought because I was listening to another podcast and it was like you got to go back and do Harry Potter again, like watch the movies, read the books. And I was like, I should read the book. And I thought about how thick that shit was. Yeah, I'm never gonna get through that shit. Maybe the movies I'll go back and watch. Those are some big ass books. Like that would take me like a year to read one book. So I want to start slight.
Yeah,
but I want to get back into books. You said what other stuff do I like? Just do?
Well, no. I mean, the books, the books, they are fun. They can be a lot of different things. You know, people use them for escapism. People use them to learn. Some people just use them to just to have a good time. But like going through a large variety of books, you'll see that they make you feel different ways, or they make you think about certain things. So you will kind of want to balance. Like if you were reading a bunch of super deep shit, you're just like, balance it off, exactly. And then you just catch yourself just thinking about things a whole lot. You're sort of like watching the ID channel all the time and then just being like, man, what's really going on out here?
Paranoid now.
You know, like I went to DC just the other day and I realized that this was happening. I went to DC the other day just to pick up some shrooms and I realized that I was, for a couple seconds, I was like, damn, man, I have been hearing about like the carjackings, like, you know, something multiplied by like 10 since last year. And then I was just like, fucking what am I doing up here right now? You know what I mean? And it was just a thought that I had, but I was like, man, go and get this stuff. Like you'll be all right. Like everyone up here is not just getting carjacked. Like it's a story, and I'm certain people are getting carjacked, but it's not just happening broad daylight all the time, every single day. Yeah.
But you do got to be aware.
But you still have to be aware. Yeah, you have to be aware. So the fiction books, I feel like were a huge blessing for me. I always, a lot of people like shit on fictional books. Like there's always like this, like these different factions of people, and like no matter what it is you get into in life. So you just think people are book readers. Like, oh no, there are different types of book readers. And like some people swear by nonfiction and it's only nonfiction, and they think that fiction stuff is like stupid and for children. Like why you just want to read a story? You want me to tell you a story? Like
that's kiddie stuff.
Like that's really what you want. I feel like that's unfortunate. Yeah. Because the perspectives that can be taken out of very well written, especially the type of books you're talking about, like these 800-page, 1,000-page books, like those are clearly in movie form. We know what those look like. Like those are some thick ass books. That's wild character development. That's a lot of different perspectives going on. That's a huge story arc. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of thought and experience that had to go into writing a book of that magnitude. So
a lot of details.
So I can so that too. If you've ever been a person to read a book and watch a movie, you kind of be like, oh wow, like they were able to do a whole lot more in the book, you know, and in my imagination than they actually could on the big screen. Yeah, but it's all fun. Yeah, I think reading can definitely be fun. I used to be very avid reader, like kind of like I had to have a book every week, and then I just like relaxed. I was reading a lot of books.
So you're a fast reader,
but I was also, I suppose, you would say, I suppose,
I'm like really, because I have to like picture it as I'm like, you know,
you want to take your time with it. Yeah, my dad says the same thing. Like he was like he'll read something and then he'll be like, I don't know if I really understood that, and he'll go back and like read that page again and be like, He would just start pondering on it. He was like, oh shit, like you only read this one page, but he's like, that's how my mind works. I gotta take time to try to let that page sink in. Like,
sit in for a little bit. That's me.
All right, so what? All right, and then I guess aside from that, what else we got? Oh, I saw that you made some Wu-Tang. Like, was that a rug or?
Yeah.
So now you're also into like some obscure ops or arts and crafts.
I just try to create anything. Like, I've been doing art for a long time. So years ago, I found tufting is what it's called, but it wasn't the tufting. It was what do you call it? Like the pinch needle or whatever.
Okay.
So the first rug I made was a 7, like the number 7 for my cousin, and you had to like literally stitch every thread, and I'm like, this is like treacherous. So then I upgraded to the.
How long does it take you to thread an entire rug?
Days, weeks. with the way I am, I'm just slow at everything. So it took me like a good 2 months to make that rug, maybe even longer. But it's just a lot, and then your hand hurts. But with a tufting gun, you got the gun, and then it just like does it for you. You hit the trigger, and then like it lines it up. But yeah,
why rugs?
I don't know. I was just like, that looks cool. I feel like I could do that. I want to make something I could touch because I do a lot of digital art. I haven't drawn in a minute, like pencil to paper. Yeah. But I just wanted to draw something or make something physical. So I'm like, well, let me try it out. I got the screen projector and drew it on there, and after I made the 7 rug. But it was fun. Yeah. It was fun. I've only made that one rug. I was like, well, when I have the, because I was pregnant when I made that Wu-Tang rug. So I was like, well, when I have the babies, I'll put them in the, their playpens or whatever, and then I'll tuft, and that shit it's been sitting downstairs in the basement. So I'm like, I want to get to it, but it's so much stuff that's got to get done throughout the day. Or you're just like, the day just passed so fast.
What's the age that a child has to get to where the parents really feel like they can take a breather and kind of start sitting back?
I would say like 7, 8.
7, 8?
Yeah, 7, 8.
Okay.
And it depends on the child because, if your child has whatever special needs or they're just really like need a lot of attention.
Yeah,
and it's true. Like, all right.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah. Because my son, we still got to watch his ass. I was just telling his dad, I'm like, yeah, we got to watch Rome just as much as the kids sometimes.
Right, because you're probably focused on the 2 twins, but you're like, wait a minute.
There's another one. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's so hard. Like, you don't think it's that hard, but once you have like multiple kids, you got to like, even with the twins, like I got to give them attention together. And then I got to give them separate attention too. So, and then they all need different things. So Rome's not feeling the twins. Like he just feels all that attention because it was 9 years, just us, all of us. So, he's just like the twins came and.
Yeah, of course.
Which is normal.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost, I feel like it's probably close to impossible to not have some kid feel like they're being left out or, mom and dad have favorites. Whatever the case is, favorites is funny. Favorites is funny.
I don't have a favorite though.
Favorites
I know some people do, but you can't let the kids know.
Yeah,
but you can always tell who your parents' favorite is.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of feel like I know my parents' favorites.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of funny, huh?
Yeah, like they don't tell you, but you know.
Because essentially, like, you're another person. It's like, man, there's something about you. I feel like I resonate with whatever you got going on more. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah. And favorites can change, too.
Yeah.
You know, depending upon, you know, how the relationship continues to go through the ages and like as the children grow and who they grow into being.
Yeah, yeah.
Just feel like, damn, like, you know what? I ain't used to really fuck with you like that, but like,
but now that I don't see you as much.
I like you though. Like, I like you as an adult. You're a cool adult. You were a pain in my ass as a kid. I feel like that's my relationship with my dad. I feel like I gave him, like, it was tough.
Really? Are you the middle child?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. I felt like that was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once you move out, because I lived in Charlotte for a little while, and me and my dad's relationship was good. And then once I moved back in, it was just, you were so annoying. I love you, Daddy, if you're watching this, but yeah. Like, you were so annoying.
Yeah. It sometimes distance is a good remedy.
Yeah.
You just need that distance. You know, it's just like you gotta have people in certain doses. You know, like we just not meant to be up on top of each other like this. Like we're meant to. That's
definitely me and my mom too.
Yeah.
I think that's just me and anybody. I'm around too long. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe.
Just the living with someone?
Yeah, like my cousin, me and her are really close. And she's been like, not now, but she used to be like, yeah, you know, we should try to get a place together. I'm like, that would ruin our relationship, I feel.
I've felt that before.
Yeah,
just
like I love our relationship so much. I don't want to move in together and we're seeing each other and then, you know, our living styles is different, and then it's just like, you know, I want to avoid the clash.
Yeah, it definitely takes some readjusting. Just living with people, getting to know how people are and how they like things, and you know, whether you know, this is what it is to be in a relationship with someone and to you know, to live with them, like to take that route. Like her and I, the first couple months, that shit was not fun. That shit was not fun at all. Like there was so much friction. There was like us trying to figure out.
So it was immediate.
Oh yeah, well, pretty much. Okay. Yes, it was. Yeah, I remember like the moment. Yeah, it was definitely pretty immediate. Okay. There were just different expectations of what the place was gonna look like exactly, I guess, how often we were gonna be doing deep cleaning and things like that. And I was like, I think that you should probably lower your standards just like a tad. But it turned out that she didn't even actually want to live the way that she was first presenting, right? She was like, I actually don't even want to fucking clean that much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was putting too much pressure on myself as well. Like, it was always just going to be spick and span at all points in time. I was like,
relax a little bit.
Just, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, how do you know? So we had those conversations, and it was just a lot of just, you know, finding that groove. And just realizing like when you need to compromise and when someone else is being unreasonable, when you're being unreasonable, and just slowly evening out.
Yeah. Even like small, I mean, I wouldn't even say it's small, like temperature wise. That's a thing. You got to figure out like, okay, now am I going to be the person that wears a hoodie and a hat and a scarf in the house, you know, or are you going to have to you take off some of your clothes? Like, either or.
Yeah, like what's going on? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that help out with that. We have heated blankets, you know, so if it's somebody needs to be warmer than another, we have fans, little space heaters. You find ways around all these things. Humidifiers, dehumidifiers. Yeah,
me and my dad, like, because I'm living with him now, but I'm about to live with my kid's father soon. So we plan on making that move. I'm like, I can't wait to get out of there. But like, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. He'll bust out the fans. Like, here's some fans. I'm like, no, it's 75 degrees in here right now. Let's turn it down a little bit.
Is like one of the main things temperature? Like, is that one of the main points of contention between you?
For me and my dad, he would say I'm like junky. At least being around. But I'm just like, it's that thing. Like, I'm chasing after the kids, and he's just like, yeah, there's clothes upstairs on your bed still. I'm like, well, here you go. How about you watch them for me for a little while, and then 5 minutes later, it's like, yeah.
When it's someone else's house, and you're just like, damn, like it is your house. It is. Like, that is a fact.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You gotta compromise. You have to compromise. Yeah. But living with their dad, we live together in Charlotte, so it's not. It's definitely more lax. Like, if we're like, we don't feel like washing the dishes tonight, you don't have somebody.
We're gonna get to them in the morning.
Yeah.
Very nice. See, that's just what you need. You just it's fine. It's nice to find a match in that way where you can understand. That like my most comfortable living situation, you're also comfortable with. So like, cool. We can really just come in here. There can be no tension in here about the way that the place is looking, and I don't have to walk around on eggshells like, oh God, I wonder if they're actually kind of mad at me right now, and all that weird shit. No.
Yeah, you want to be definitely relaxed at home.
Home, it's got to be the recharge station. It's got, like, every time someone tells me, and again, I've experienced it, so I know. Like, if you ever feel like it's not the recharge station, like it's not the safe haven that it can be, and you just like coming from wherever you coming from, like, oh fuck, like, I'm about to go home right now.
You're already like anticipating it, like, I want to go home.
Like, oh no.
Like, you park and sit in your car for like a good 10 minutes.
That's crazy, because I've seen people do that move. Like, you just like people just in the car.
Yeah, like,
and they just looking up at the apartment unit that they got to go to, just like, man.
Let me just mentally prepare myself for this. Yeah.
That's not. That's not supposed to be home. That's not. Oh. And especially when people tell me how draining their outside life is.
Yeah.
And then to know that you're coming home to get drained.
Even more.
So you can get some bad sleep and do it again. Like, oh, no. You got to figure things out, or we got to call it quits.
Yeah.
We got to find a way out of here. Because sometimes, like, everyone's not meant to live together. There's just certain things we're not going to be able to like see eye to eye on, and and you can't relax. I can't relax.
It's time to go. Well, what do you think about? I heard of a lot of people are doing like separate rooms, like they live together as a married couple or whatever. But
I thought about that.
In separate rooms.
I thought about that. Yeah, for sure. Because we were having the temperature conversation. We were just like, like I don't know if this is gonna, if this is gonna work out. Like, maybe we should just have these separate rooms. This became the pod studio, so no bed in here. But I definitely thought about it, and I thought about it hard, and even elders that I'd spoken to were like, you might just want to have that just in case. Like, just go in there and have that place that you can go sleep, because you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
And there were definitely some nights at the beginning where I felt like, damn, I really wish that I had this other bed, but now I don't. So now I'm just in the same bed, just angry.
Backs turned. That's the worst. That is,
backs
you just
turned.
feel like tension.
Yeah, it's never good. Just you waking up in the morning, just trying to get dressed.
Yeah, they say like don't go to bed angry.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
but it's just like. It happens sometimes.
You wake up feeling the same. You just
even worse. Like, you thought about it.
Yeah, it's been
slept on it. Yeah, that's me. If we don't talk about it, I'm gonna get even more angrier and just think of like what you did years ago and this and that, and we gotta resolve it.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, that's definitely it. The resolving it. That's the issue. It's weird when you have different relational styles.
Yeah.
And that's something that I read in this book called Reconcilable Differences. By Donna Markova, and then I always forget the other person's name, but I think they were related. Like, it was like a stepmother or mother-in-law or the daughter-in-law or something like that wrote this. And it's pretty much just about different relational styles. Like, you have people that are very logical. right? And everything to them is like an analysis, and they're trying to scientifically prove to you that they're correct about the situation going forward. And then you have people that are more relational, and it's not so much about the information you're giving as it is the way that you're delivering this information. Like, you don't make me feel good about the way you're delivering the information, regardless of if it's right or not. I don't like the energy you're giving me as you tell me it's right. And that matters. And so and those are just 2 of the 4, but for those 2 people to try to have a conversation about how to get over whatever obstacle they're facing, the relational person is going to have to understand the logistics of what this logical person's trying to say and be like, okay, like, I see you're going at this at a very level-headed way. But you also have a fucking attitude, and you're being an asshole. This person has to understand that it's not just enough to be right about something, logistically speaking. Like, there is also an emotional component to how we relate to one another, and you can't just be barking at somebody with the correct answer. So it takes a lot to, figure out who you are and how you communicate and how someone else needs to be communicated with. And
changing how you communicate is like, because I want you to know I'm right, and I'm going to prove that I'm right. And then I'll feel better. But now I just give up. I'll be like, all right, you got it. Maybe, man, I'm like, just give me a hug. Because I don't want to argue. Like, I really don't. I'm over it. I used to, we about to argue. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm in it.
I'm ready. But now I'm just like, Like, if I done explain myself a couple times and I feel like we're talking in circles, I'm like, all right, you got it.
That's something that it's funny because the way you explain it is that this is simply just a matter of getting older. And sometimes getting older will just chill you the fuck out because you just start to lack the energy that you once had. Right? Like, you don't have that 7-year-old energy where you're just bouncing around anymore. All right. So you start. This is definitely some old shit. When you start really picking and choosing what you're going to devote your energy towards.
Like, I'm like, do I want to give this my energy right now?
It's like, man. And then you're in your 50s, then you're in your 60s, and then you're really just like, nigga, like, I'm not even feeling it. Like, I only got, I got a certain amount of battery that I can give things per day. Like, I'm sorry, like, I just can't, I can't even give you that.
I'm definitely at that point with arguing. Like, I'm not about to argue.
It seems to me it's the arguing sort of point that I don't want to be a part of it. But it's only because I have the knowledge to know that if you're in a heated argument, it's not happening.
They're not hearing you. You're not hearing them.
And I just know that on a fundamental level. So I'm not going to participate in that because I know, like, my intentions are to try to fix something or to try to figure out what's going on. And if those are my intentions, I know that if we're in some sort of screaming match or something, it's not happening. So I'm just like, I should stop doing this because we're not actually doing anything. We're just saying sounds at each other. Like, this is stupid. But so you kind of got to understand that. And if you're with someone that can also understand that, then you guys both can be like, all right,
take a step
well, okay, like, we see what's going on here. We're being stupid. Like, all right, let's reconvene. With level heads. That breathing work. That'll help out. That'll get you there. Like, I know it seems very, very basic, but so many philosophies on life and religions come equipped with come back to the breath.
Breathe in, breathe out, count.
Yeah. You can see it visibly work on someone. Just like that breath. You taking that breath or not could very well be like the difference between someone punching someone in the throat and them just walking away from a situation. Like, that is real.
Slow the breath out.
Like, you know what?
You got it.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's also, I think, worth thinking about how important is it that I get my opinion across?
Yeah.
Like, do I really need to prove my position on this right now? Does it matter, really?
Yeah. Once that clicked in my head, I was just like, yeah. Like, you want to prove your point so bad. Like, I know I'm right, and this is why, and you're not understanding it. Yeah, no. I'm not proving myself. I don't give up.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what? Like, maybe I'm right. Maybe
I'm quick to say that. I'm like, I don't care. He hates that shit.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, yeah, that's going to make somebody upset.
I don't care.
It's like, I don't even care.
Sorry.
This thing that you really care about, I don't care.
I'm done.
It means nothing to me.
Yeah, that doesn't, yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, it also happens when you get to know someone, is you get to know all the little pressure points. Like, I know this is gonna piss him.
I'm a button pusher for sure.
Off. That's why. Did you listen to the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick, the album he came out with last?
No.
Did you ever hear the song "We Cry Together"? Was that the one song where it's him and a woman and they're fighting in the middle of a fight?
No.
Oh,
that was on the latest album.
Oh yeah, we're gonna play that after we close this up, because that's the epitome. At the very beginning of the song, you just hear a woman's voice come up, and it's like, "This is what the world sounds like," and then the song begins, and you just get to hear verse after verse, like this man and woman arguing, but it's very relatable because you've heard these arguments and you've seen these tactics to fuck with the other person and to push their buttons and to get them upset and then to cheer at the fact that you got them upset. Just like, ha ha, yeah, like, yeah, you mad. See?
It's like, I wasn't even that mad, but now you are. That's horrible. Yeah, that's definitely some back in the day type stuff.
That's so wild. Now as we talk about energy, like, it's a wild way to spend your energy.
Yeah. Like, oh, you mad? Nah, that's not good. Definitely try to avoid that.
Oh, maturation is great. It's great. That's what's interesting about having friends that you've known for. I mean, when were we working at Penn? I feel like that was like 20. Like, I feel like that was like 12 years ago or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was in like 2010. So like
wow,
14. We were young.
Whoa.
Yeah. Before kids, all that stuff. Yeah.
Wow, it's wild when you can say things like that. Oh yeah, that was 14 years ago.
Back in the day,
we were at that job. Wow.
Yeah. I still think about them though. Like, I would see Damo. I feel like I'm messing his name up. That probably wasn't his name, but I saw him like years after the fact here and there. Like, I went to a cookout. He was there. Damo. It was like random.
You said Damo?
Yeah, I know that's not his name. I was hoping you would be like, yeah.
Nah, I don't remember him. Nah.
The black guy. The funny one.
That had dreads? Like,
yeah.
Oh, his name was like Marquise.
Gosh. Oh my God. No. I fucked that up.
And you know that was his name. Yeah, his name was definitely like Marquise.
Okay.
Yeah, that was super
He was funny.
He was really funny. He was also very aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's funny when you just know people from that long ago. Like, if you ever have these small moments where your paths cross again, just like this moment, you kind of get to see different iterations of them throughout time. Like, damn, I remember those times when we were going over to like Steve and Caitlin's house and drinking and playing games, having a good time with them.
That was such a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Trading Panera Bread sandwiches and salads for Cold Stone ice cream down the way, because we would go and trade with them. So we got in with the Cold Stone girls down in the same promenade. Good times, man.
Yeah. We was there for a minute. I mean, I know you was there longer.
Yeah,
I think I was there for a minute.
I think I was there for like 2 years, and then that's when I moved down to Florida for like 6 months. It was a beautiful disaster. There was some beauty in it. There was a lot of disaster.
Yeah.
And moving down to Florida, it was just crazy time.
And you stayed in Florida, you said how long?
Like 6 months.
Oh, shit.
I went down there, crashed my car, and stole a car in like less than 36 hours. So it was just like I was just on a different time. I was on a different type of time.
It started off bad.
I was just it was just in a different.
And in Florida too?
And in Florida. Gosh. Something about the air. Florida just
like right when you get in there.
It just turns you crazy. It makes you feel like rules don't really apply. There's something about the essence of Florida that's just like it doesn't really matter.
I'll just take another car.
Yeah, like just do, you know what I mean? People do whatever they want to do. It's something in the air. It feels like that. Just like whatever. Sort of like the same feeling you get if you go on a cruise. Like, I feel like the same rules don't apply like in the middle of the ocean.
I hope people don't think.
Oh, people definitely. That's why. Have you been on a cruise?
No.
Oh, people get
scary.
People get crazy on cruises because there's usually some, all you can drink alcohol package or just whatever, food. And you just on there in the middle of the ocean. It just doesn't seem like, I think because it breaks the framework in which you're usually seeing in a car, a bunch of buildings around you, people walking around. It just breaks that whole thing and you're just looking up at sky and ocean.
It's literally just us.
So I think it like just changes the way people feel. It gives you a what happens here stays here type of feel. Yeah, like a Las Vegas type of feel.
Okay.
Yeah, where like you can be whoever you want to be. Like
hopefully someone good.
no one's here to judge. No one's going to remember you.
Yeah, you're
not going to see these people again. Is kind of the feel. Okay. So just do whatever. Yeah, it gets crazy out there.
Oh wow. Yeah, I want to one day go on a cruise.
Well, where else is there any sort of place that you want to go or do anything in particular you want to do? I don't know if you're a bucket list type of person.
Not really.
You're
bucket
just living.
List, like, yeah, pretty much. Like, I know I want to travel, but I haven't like researched like where.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I got to work on getting that passport.
I feel the same. I also don't think about it.
You just go.
Yeah, but like I'm certain if there's. Like, I'm just open to opportunities and all that, but I'm not planning a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I hope eventually, like, during the summers, me and the kids and their dad, we could just, like, go wherever. We usually go to, like, Myrtle Beach. That's, like, the furthest. But, like, traveling with kids is a whole nother...
That's a thing, too. Yeah. My goodness.
I don't even like going to the store with them sometimes.
Yeah, you have to think about so much more. Like every decision you make, is in some degree you have to think in the capacity of the children. Like how are they going to interact with this thing?
Yeah, babysitting. Because my cousin, she wants to go to, I think, Tennessee. She's like just adults. Maybe next summer. I'm like, I got to start planning my babysitters
you got time
now.
Yeah, you got time to actually plan that out. That'll probably be really nice for you.
Yeah, because I'm like, for a whole week, like they would have to like rotate babysitters for mine. Yeah, because she has a little one too. Our kids are like a week or two apart, her daughter. So I'm just like, you got one, you could find a sitter, but I got two. So it's a little harder. Yeah. But hopefully we'll see.
In a nice,
it's time to save up.
In a nice trip, and especially if you can, relax. I'm praying for you that when that time comes, you'll have no problem relaxing, and
I don't see that,
and you don't spend too much time still like in your mind whilst you're on the trip.
Yeah.
About like what could possibly be happening. Hopefully you can,
Yeah, how are the kids?
You can, hopefully you can allow for that to be the case, because I know that can be a difficult one. I've heard people like seeing people on the phone on a vacation and just like, oh gosh, but we're gonna come back in like this amount of days, and like it's gonna be over soon. Yeah, it's like, damn, like you cutting the vacation short in your mind because you're like, oh, it's only going to be 3 days left or 2 days left, and then we're going to go back, and you're thinking about that. So the vacation ain't even
vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Because then you just in your mind about it, thinking about how it's not going to be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Now you're after going to go back to your regular life that you hate.
And that was like too much chapstick on it.
Oh yeah. So what kind of we using here?
I'm using Carmex.
Carmex is not bad. I will say once you get around to the Tranquil lip balm, that can be located on tranquil.skin.
I know. I was about to say you better.
No, I mean the thing is, I've been using all the stuff. I use like the hair oil, like the hair skin oil. When I did have a beard, I used the beard balm. Made it very nice and luscious. Face moisturizers. What I really like about them is that she whips them, so they're like
they're like thick.
Yeah, they're like thick and like creamy. Soft. Exactly. And what I also always love about natural ingredients is that it always seems like a little goes a long way. You know, you can kind of always like rub it around, and you can tell it like very deeply. You can tell when like your hands very deeply moisturized, like that shit's really gotten in there. It's not just gonna dry up in 5 minutes when you walk outside.
That type of lotion.
See, that's why I don't even lotions like those thin things. Like, nah, it's gotta be like a cream.
You gotta be able to really get
you know. So that's what I like about all this stuff. Again, the fragrance, like there's no added fragrance. Yeah, you just have the fragrance from the things. There may be some lavender or some, vanilla essential oil or something in there. Okay. But once you get around, you'll see that it really hydrates and feels good. It's smooth. She also has lip scrubs. Oh, I didn't even know that was a fucking thing until she like introduced me to lip scrubs. And she makes like this little like cocoa one. And it kind of tastes good too. If you get a little bit on your lip, you lick it off. These little lip scrubs, and it comes with a little lip scrub brush.
Oh, like a little. I haven't heard of the brushes. I know people just,
Oh, just use their finger. Yeah, we doing this. We got a little. It's a little rubber tip on like this white stick or whatever, and you just kind of use it to lightly rub and scrub your lips and exfoliates it, and then you use the lip balm afterwards and smooth.
Dang. So you exfoliate? She taught you like about like exfoliating your face.
I was doing that beforehand.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I used to. Spotting is one of my favorite things to do. I love get facials and massages and oh my gosh, it's so nice.
Yeah. And you got to.
Well, I mean,
you gotta,
people don't.
Yeah,
people don't.
Should. I would love to get a facial.
They're so nice. I remember getting like a 90-minute facial where they just they cleanse and then pump you full of vitamins and moisturize and then cleanse and exfoliate and also.
So would you say that stuff like works to the extent of like days and weeks after you're like?
I would say that they're big pick me ups.
Okay,
and I think that what they do is they allow you to continue on that track and see a longer lasting effects for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, continuing to hydrate, continuing to wash thoroughly, but not like super like rough against your skin and exfoliating and all that sort of stuff.
Getting all
wearing
stuff
masks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's some really nice masks that hydrate your skin.
Okay.
But yeah, they go in there, they do extractions, you know what I mean? They be pushing stuff out of your face you didn't even know was in your face. They just put this huge like magnifying glass type of thing over your face, and they're like looking deeply into your skin, like deeply into your pores.
Yeah.
And they just go in and just like make extractions, just like it's wild. They're like performing surgery in a sense. Yep. There's hydrofacials where they kind of put this suction cup to your face and sort of move it around, and it's that just
sucking all the stuff up.
Yeah. And there would be a small water capsule on the side, and you'll be able to see all the things like coming out of your face. Yeah.
I'll be watching stuff like that on like YouTube sometimes, Snapchat.
Yeah. I got some friends in facial work. She was just working at a spa facility where they do a bunch of injectables and things, and she had no idea how prevalent cosmetic surgery and cosmetic treatments are. She was like, oh, so many people are out here doing this, and they spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
She's like, people maxing their credit cards out, 5,000 here for, these lip fillers. She's going to get 15 units, or, this amount for.
And that's upkeep comes with that.
Botox. If you do Botox, you have to continue. You don't just do Botox once.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to keep up with all that. Thousands and thousands.
You got to be okay with aging too. I think people are so scared to like look their age. Like, don't look all old, older than you are.
Don't look all old.
If you can help it. But yeah, like we're in our 30s. We're going to be in our 40s someday, 50s, hopefully.
Right.
It's just,
those days are going to go by. Like, I'm 30. I turned 33 this year.
Oh,
yeah. So it's coming.
Why did I think you were older than that? Not by the way you look. I just thought you was like 35.
No.
I thought you was like, God, because I'll be 32 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to embrace it. It's wild, though, because you can remember what life was like. You're like, that shit did not feel like that long ago. And it will be interesting just being 50 and being like, I remember doing that little podcast when I was 33 years old. Like, I remember that conversation that I had with her. Like, that was not that long ago, but I'm going to be 50 saying it.
Yeah.
When I be talking to my dad, he'd be thinking about it. There's something that happens when you realize that there's more life behind you than ahead of you. I think he'd just be like, damn, man. Like, he's like, I'm going to be 60 soon. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, you 33. That's nuts. You know what I mean? You start thinking like, man, I gotta start doing some more shit. Like I gotta.
But then again, you don't want to wait till you get like too old to do it.
A lot of people feel like that is the thing. You work really, really hard. You attain a bunch of stuff. Maybe you have a family, and then later on you retire, right? And I know a lot of people have plans to retire, like in this day and age, have plans to retire by like age 35, by age 40. That hasn't always been the case for people, but there is also something to be said about the amount of things that you want in life. Like if you want a lot of things and like the nicest of things, then I guess you're gonna have to do a lot to get all those things. But you can sort of live like a retiree early in life. But it depends on what it is you want in life. Again, you want the mansion, you want the nice cars, you want this and that. Like, you're going to have to work really, really hard to get a lot of these things. But if like you're okay with your Toyota and like the apartment that you're in, and you make enough money to still, you take a trip here, do this, do whatever it is you want. Like, you're not on bare minimum. Like, you can really just relax.
Yeah.
But it's the idea that you need to gain more a lot of times that, now you working to get to a place so that you can relax later on. It's like, we can just relax now. Really. Like, if you really wanted to, if these other sort of program thoughts that you've had about how it is you should navigate life, like if those weren't there, you wouldn't be so afraid to be like, maybe I can just like relax,
let go of some of the materialistic stuff.
Or maybe I can just like chill and enjoy this life that's around me right now. Like, what if I tried that?
Instead of focusing on the future too much,
like what it could be like. Or maybe and this is even worse, like what it should be like. That's what my life should be like.
Once you start
saying the shoulds, ooh, that's a tough one. Like, what life should be. Somehow.
And we don't.
No. There's a really good book called The Lives We Actually Have, and it's really just like 100+ blessings for every type of day that a human being could essentially be having. Like, whether it's a great day or it's a day that you're ruminating on the fact that your parents are getting older, or it's a day where you're kind of sick and you're trying to find the silver lining in you being sick that day, or whatever the case is, they have some blessing for it.
Oh, okay.
And it's it's largely due to, so the person is Canadian. It's largely due to this understanding that she called Americans out for kind of encouraging, which is everyone is self-made. Like if someone achieved great heights, it's because they worked really, really, really hard and made it happen. And if you're not there, it's because you're not working hard. Right. And just simply that sort of situation. And what she is saying is a lot of what happens to us in life is happening to us. Like we're not making everything happen. Like a lot of life is just life happening to you and you got to roll with the punches or do, you know what I mean?
Like you were saying earlier.
So with that sort of thing, you go into looking at life a little, like you can look at it a little differently. Like, man, like some things are the way that they are. And I have to try to find some peace in that. So it's a nice book for grounding and having some sort of practiced gratitude for, like I said, feeling sick or just ruminating on the idea that there are a bunch of other sick or hurting people. And sometimes that makes us feel bad, just knowing that there are just people out there hurting or, I mean, there's so many different types of blessings in there, but they really touch on everything. And that's a really good book. I would definitely.
And what's it called again?
The Lives We Actually Have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how are you finding these books? Like, do you just Google?
No. What I'll do is, because sometimes I won't even like pick them up. I'll just do this thing where I'll walk around a bookstore and just see what calls to me and be like, oh, that's interesting that catches my attention. Because clearly that means that there's something that I'm reading from the front of this book and then afterwards the back of this book that they're like I'm looking for or I'm seeking in my life right now on another level. Right. So I like see it and I'm like, the lives we actually have. Like, okay, that has kind of been some of the thoughts I've been having and then me trying to get much more in tune with that life as opposed to some other, parallel universe life that I think should be the case or would be the case if only I could do X, Y, and Z. Just like, no, just this one, just this life. And so sometimes, I'll just walk around a bookstore and be like, oh, that's interesting. Like that caught my eye. And I'll kind of see the correlation between some of these things that I'm interested in and be like, okay, I'm going to leave now and just focus on what I feel like these books were about. Or what I feel like they were trying to say to me so that I'm not, this seems very intricate, just so I'm not just going straight for the book for someone else's perspective. Like I'm ruminating on what it is I think I'm very interested in and why I'm interested in it. So I'm like self-investigating that. And then once I feel like I've done enough of that, then maybe I'll pick up the book and then read the book and see someone else's perspective or what it is they're trying to say or convey through the book. But yeah, it's really, really nice. It's a really, really nice book. It's really, really nice sentiment behind it that just, regardless of what it is you're going through, there is a way to practice gratitude. Like there is some way. You may not see it. You may not want to see it. You may feel like that's minimizing your current perspective on it. But they do it in like such a very graceful way that you can kind of see and be like, yeah, there's still something for me to be grateful for. In this current sector of pain that I'm experiencing in life.
Okay, I need to hit a bookstore up.
And the reason why it's really, really good for people that aren't reading heavy books is it's one that you just like read a page or two at a time. Yeah. One of those things you put in the bathroom. And just kind of one of those types of books.
Instead of being on your phone.
Yeah, one of those types of books.
Yeah.
So I would I'd recommend that one. That's a good one. And then there's a song that I think encapsulates this very, very well, and it's called "Of Love and Life." I would also recommend that song as well. So these two things, this book and this song. Of Love and Life. Of Love. Is that the
Kendrick one you was talking about?
No. That's that's a whole different energy. But thank you because I do want to play that for you. Let's do that now. Okay. No, that's by what are they called? Camp with 2 A's. That's the like sort of folkish band that is of Love and Life. But a very beautiful song. And the sentiment of that song, I feel like really encapsulates what it is I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, just the feeling of the life we actually have, cherishing it, understanding it, and like understanding the beauty of its uniqueness, and just the fact that it's even happening, the fact that you're even experiencing this thing.
Yeah.
So that's that. No, Kendrick Lamar that's going to be a whole different thing.
A whole nother vibe.
Yeah, that's a whole other vibe. I can't wait for you to hear this song. So let's do that.
Okay.
Thank you for coming here and doing this.
Thank you.
This was very, very cool. It has been it's been a few years since I saw you last, but then before that, it would have been back then. That's crazy. 14 years ago, we was in there.
Yeah.
We was in
way back.
pouring them soups and just
eating up the pastries.
Wow, yeah, we were kids back then.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah, I was excited to come. I was like, oh, he's asking me to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This is so cool.
Yeah, you have to come back and do it again too.
Yeah, of course.
Figure out some more time for you. But thank you for your service out here raising these children, because somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Like we still got to keep bringing children into the world. And I have not contributed to that. I'm trying to do other things for the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Make the world a better place for the kids.
Yeah, just through
you helping out.
Just through me, you know what I mean? So thank you for that, and good luck with all of those future endeavors, with all those things you got going on, raising that little boy that seems like he may be a problem. All those things, and continue to make this content. This content is so funny.
Thank you.
It's so you do such a good job at it. Like, did anyone teach you how to like do this, or you just kind of figured it out on your own?
I just the more you play with it, the easier it gets. So you just gotta have fun with it. You watch other videos, like, oh, I like how she did that.
Yeah,
he did that, and just implement it.
I'll definitely make sure that I put your TikTok in the description so people can
follow me on TikTok.
Yeah, pop you in. What's your name on there again?
Shoot, I should have been ready. I think it's _ Cole Marie with 2 E's at the end, or it's either Cole Marie and an underscore.
Yeah, we'll find it. Yeah, I'll find it and put it up. Yeah. But it's so funny. It's either just like super adorable or just very well done. They're all very well done. All the dancing, the teaching, all of them.
Thank you. Yeah, I just try to have fun with it.
That's what it looks like. It looks like you have fun doing them, like, genuinely.
Yeah. It's hard, but it's definitely, motherhood is a blessing.
Yeah.
So
very nice. All right, I appreciate you, and thank you for everybody listening.
Thank you.
Peace. Appreciate you.